Which things on the naughty list have you done last year?
Gee, I would say nothing. Yeah.
Beautiful. Faiza in the background puts on some headphones so she doesn't have to listen to...
That's exactly what she's doing. Pfizer's Muslim. Me and Pfizer and I had Pfizer sitting over there. Pfizer! Pfizer and I just about 500 dirhams to anyone who makes the most interesting comment. Well, welcome to the next chapter of our podcast.
Called Desert Diaries.
Desert Diary. We're still not 100% sure on the name. So it's a work in progress. We think that's ChatGPT came up with that, and we feel that that's the best one.
And we're not very sure if that is actually, if it's possible to use it because somebody else is using it. So whoever you are using the same name, we appreciate you and we're gonna use the same.
If that helps us, brilliant. So now we are in beginning of January, so new year. 2025 is going to be an amazing year for all of us, we hope. I suppose I would chat to Chris about what he did over the Christmas period.
While Faiza in the background puts on some headphones so she doesn't have to listen to...
That's exactly what she's doing.
So now I can finally speak freely.
Tell me exactly what you think of Faiza. So what did you do over Christmas, Chris?
So I went back home to Germany, visited my...
Yep.
I went back home to Germany, took some rain, cold weather, loads of beers, like absurd amounts of raclette cheese.
Yeah.
And had a great time. And now finally back.
Yeah? You were gone a while.
3 weeks.
3 weeks, it seemed like a long, well, it was a long time. Yeah. So that's really nice. I'm glad you got to do that.
How was your Christmas over here?
It was good. We didn't do much. No, I mean, so...
How does it feel to have Christmas here in Dubai?
How does it feel to have Christmas here in Dubai? I mean, we totally decorate. So obviously I'm been brought up Catholic and Pfizer is Muslim. So obviously we've got quite a different, she'd never actually had a Christmas before.
Is Catholic a thing in the UK? I thought you all...
No, we made it up.
Huh?
Of course it's a thing. Well...
I thought the British turned into Protestants because of
we turned into there was you're kind of right, it became like the Church of England. So Henry the whatever basically wasn't allowed to get divorced and he kept beheading his wives, so he decided, I know what I'm going to do, I'm going to change the whole thing. And so you still have the Catholic Church in England, you also have the Church of England, which is... And
you Catholic?
Yeah, kind of. I mean, that was what it was growing up. I haven't been to church in a very, very long time, and it's a bit embarrassing. But yes, so I'm Catholic, and Faiz's Muslim. But I would say more of a spiritual thing, if that's anything. I definitely 100% think that there's something there, and I think there's one sort of all-powerful kind of thing that created us all, and we all work towards that. And being good is better for you than being bad, and all of this kind of stuff. I also think that there is an element of karma out there, that if you do lots of bad things happen. I think a lot of that also has to do with our optimistic or not optimistic personalities and the way we think about things. If you're constantly thinking that bad stuff's going to happen, more than likely bad stuff's going to happen to you. Equally, if you are more optimistic, and not stupid optimistic as in like just thinking I'm going to win the lottery this week, but if you're just thinking thoughtfully about your future and being positive about it, good things do happen. And I know we've tightly diverged from our Christmas time, but so Christmas time, me and Pfizer here cooked a Christmas lunch, had a couple of friends over, and Ollie and Sam came over. I cooked them a Christmas lunch, which was roast chicken, and it was really nice. But Pfizer and I had Christmas presents and all that normal stuff, so it was good.
And you had that on the 25th?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because back home it's like the 24th in Germany is the main day,
And you get to open one present, right?
No, all of them.
What?
That's why we don't really care about the other ones. It's nice to have some more additional Christmas days, but the kind of excitement is over once the presents are open on the 24th at night.
Oh.
Because the Christmas child is gonna bring the presents
Right.
Not Santa, but like the Christ kid itself is gonna deliver the presents.
So to offend anyone out there, who's the Christ kid. What, he turns up with a Christmas present?
Yeah, like that's the.
Do you have Santa Claus?
Huh? No, Santa Claus, we have, but that's like earlier. That's like in the beginning of December, and there you only get tiny presents. While Christmas is when you finally get that pony.
Nice. That's what you always wanted.
Exactly. Yeah.
Oh, that's actually really interesting. And you know, actually, living in Dubai, one of the most amazing things about being here is there's so many different cultures, religions, that, you know, they're all different. And I didn't even know that. And yet Germany and England are not that far from each other. So I think that's a very interesting thing, actually, the whole, and I know we're not going to talk about religion and stuff, I guess, because that's a bit of a no-no subject, but just because we were talking about the certain things that I believe in, and certainly the things that I believe in is because certain things have happened to me in my life, and maybe one day we'll talk about that, like the really interesting stuff. So, you know, that's kind of what led me to believe it. But then when we look at other stuff, like we just talk about Santa Claus, you know, Santa Claus is very different in different countries. I mean, in America, you know, Santa Claus is this big figure that turns up dressed in red, and then I found out not too long ago that actually Coca-Cola made him red.
Yeah.
Like, he wasn't red, he was green before, and you know, and you think, oh, well, that kind of destroys the whole thing. But isn't there something? I'm sure in German culture there's a Santa Claus type character that's really scary.
No, so we have actually, it's not Santa Claus. It's called Nikolaus.
Right.
And he is actually coming at some point in December. And I wish I wouldn't be that uneducated, because actually I received always some nice sweets from my mom for that day. But I don't know which day exactly. However, he is coming.
Yeah.
And he's gonna hide some presents in like the socks, you know.
Okay.
And the shoes.
Nice.
But he also is accompanied by a guy which is called Knecht Ruprecht, and for the that's a horrible translation, but I think the literal translation is like the peasant Ruprecht. So like a guy who does hard work, you know.
Yeah.
And this guy, if you have been naughty, this guy is coming to punish you.
Right.
So on Nikolaus Day, if you have the actual, like somebody dressed up like that, delivering like small presents to you, then he's usually also accompanied by his like bad friend who is gonna check out if you've been a good person that year.
Oh, I like that. Okay, nice. Yeah. In England, it's just like Father Christmas, you know, Santa Claus, very happy, jolly guy. I always remember, actually, the day that it got ruined for me was, so I can't remember how old I was, but I must have been quite young, because my stepsister and I were still sharing a room, so we were probably about 6 or 7, and every Christmas what would happen is my stepfather would come in, and he was quite theatrical, and he would dress up as Santa Claus and stomp soot from the fireplace through the house and leave like bits of cotton wool, like pretending it was a beard that got ripped off and everything else. And of course, my sister and I, stepsister and I would try and stay awake, but invariably we didn't. But on this particular occasion, I did stay awake, and I remember seeing Santa Claus coming into the door when it was, and having a massive shouting match with my mum. For that moment, thinking to myself, what has my mum done? Why is she like making Santa Claus get so upset?
Wait, let me get the presents first before you chase him out.
So that kind of made me realise maybe he isn't real. So yeah, and if you still thought that he was real, I apologise for ruining it for you.
All of the kids watching, you absolutely ruined their entire Christmas.
But yeah, it's a very nice thing, and it was, like many things like that, it's all about the morals, isn't it? It's all about the naughty list and the good list. Have you done, you know, the right thing this year and you're going to get presents, or did you not?
Which things on the naughty list have you done last year?
Gee, I would say nothing. Yeah.
Beautiful. Right. Great lie, but like apparently it worked and you actually did receive some presents, so maybe
I've got the best present in the world because Pfizer sitting over there.
She didn't hear it.
We'll save that. We'll let her watch that.
You need to suck up. She can watch it on YouTube if she makes it to minute 10.
Yeah, exactly. She'll never sit. This would be a good test. This would be a great test actually if she ever picks up on it. We know she's watching.
I've actually seen this video the other day where this guy is like encouraging the audience to just like comment really random things because he wants to check if people actually looked all the way through, and also he wants other people to like go in the comments and find out like, oh wow, what happened there, because this looks like so unreal. Why is everybody talking really random things like
500 dirhams to anyone who makes the most interesting comment?
Let's go.
500. Chris has already put in 250. He doesn't realise. There you go.
And I'm gonna do that comment. So thank you.
It'll be Pfizer.
I'll give somebody a cut if I give him that hint.
Exactly. I give you 300. All you got to do. Oh dear. So going away. Sorry. Now let's backtrack to what we were talking about originally. So going away for the holidays, being back home for 3 weeks. Did you miss Dubai? Or, what were your thoughts? So, did you think, oh God, actually, I really love being home. It's nice to see all my friends and my family. Or did you think, okay, enough's enough. I've had enough. I want to go back to Dubai or something else?
Interesting question. So last year, like the year before when I went home, I was really dreading to go back to Dubai because it was just, the first year was so stressful and I was like, oh no, I got to go back and do this again. This year was completely different because I actually have a really good time in Dubai. I was looking very forward to go home and to see everybody, but it was not like when I was there that I was thinking, oh, I don't want to go back. It was neither like, did I feel like, because I was busy all of the time. I met so many people, like really had an amazing time. I managed to like see pretty much all of my friends. And it was amazing, but also the longer I don't live at home, I recognize that actually I truly enjoy being in Dubai. And when I came back, I was like, it is really like an honor to live here because it is such a great city. And in especially now at this time of the year, over here it's like the summer in Europe because
it's beautiful outside.
The weather is great, you do things, and at home it's like frustrating weather. So I'm like, I don't feel like I'm missing out on anything going away from Germany and coming back here. And there's so many things I look forward in the next couple of weeks where I'm like, I love this, and I truly love the job as well. I love my friends. So now it feels like coming back home.
Nice, okay.
I actually
really enjoy being. Okay, that's really nice. I'm glad to hear that. I'm really glad to hear that.
Did you sometimes feel like you would have loved to be back home?
All the time. But I think it's also the whole grass is greener on the other side kind of thing. Like I miss like family and friends back home, and that's really what it comes down to. Also, and we've talked about this before, but the way of life in England, to what I remember, and I know things have changed a lot over the last couple of years, but I love being able to get out. My sister and I, stepsister and I, Polly and I used to cycle all the time. And I love doing that. Road cycle, out there with the city hats on and the skin tight gear. But I actually really got into it, and we did a couple of sportives together. And with a sportive is there's I don't know, 400 people all go at the same time, and it's just like this awesome adventure. And you ride for like 25 miles, and it's really good. And it's exhausting. At the end, you're like, oh my god! And then there's like tents set up and people giving away free stuff.
Is that around Christmas time? Or is that
all around the year?
Okay, yeah.
All around the year. So in the summer when it's hot, and in the winter when it's freezing, and you have to buy self-heating, shoes. It's so. I think what I miss is that stuff. I miss camping. I miss exploring the wilderness. Now, having said that, can you do that here? Well, actually, Faisal and I are just about to buy tents because we're going to go camping in Hatta. So we can go with Baxter. We found a place where you can rent like a spot, and you just drive in with your car, and it's like I think it's like 100 dirham a night, and it's all beautiful and secure. And
Is that on the lake? Or?
Yeah. So we're actually gonna do that in a week. So we're gonna check it out, see what it's like. You know, and that's something different. That's a bit of an adventure. So what do I miss in England? I don't necessarily miss England. I miss the things I do in England with the people I love.
Yeah.
I said, oh, that was nice, wasn't it? I miss the things I do in England. No, what did I say? Anyway.
You miss the things in England that you do with the people you love.
That's it. That's what I miss. So, yeah.
Nice, okay. So now, what's new? New year?
New year. I mean, we've got a few new things that we're doing in the business. I don't know if I talk about that. Do we talk about that?
Yeah.
Okay. So, obviously, as everybody knows, Chris and I both work in real estate. We slightly different sectors. We also have an Airbnb business, property management side of things. And one thing that we've noticed is that from our experience in the secondary market that's lacking over here is inspections on property. So we've actually put this together now where our maintenance team, they go to the property, they fully inspect it literally from the ground up. So they make sure everything works from plumbing to the electrics, the water heaters, the AC, everything works in there. And if it doesn't, they put it into a report. And we also say how much it's going to cost to be fixed. And we can do all that for you. When we first started this, and I spoke to a number of different brokers were like, oh my gosh, it's going to put people off and blah. But
including me.
Yeah, thank you, including Chris. Now, but that's not the purpose of it, and the point of it is just to get the buyer to be more informed with what they're buying.
And honestly, so I just looked at it from the real estate perspective in the beginning, and I thought, okay, this is just going to cause so many problems, like in between, like the negotiation process and whatever. But it's actually ludicrous that this is not being done usually. That people just like walk through a property and they're like, well, I like it, I'm going to buy the whole thing. But no expert is going with the people. Of course, like if you buy like a full building or whatever, or probably I think in other markets in Europe, you would probably have a specialist checking out the property. Yeah. While here, it's really, many people don't do that at all. So I think
they don't even know it exists.
It's crazy that this doesn't exist, that nobody does it, and I think it's an amazing thing.
Yeah, I mean,
we will really like help people to know what they actually buy.
We've just done. I mean, we've done 3 now in the last. Well, we only launched this literally right now, and we've done it on 3 properties. 2 were apartments, 2-bed and a 1-bed, and then we did it on a big villa. And while the apartment ones were really useful, there was not a lot wrong with them. But the villa, it had 5 water heaters. All of them needed replacing. The whole AC system needs replacing. This is just on a visual inspection. There's no DWA in the property. Yeah. So the garden, I mean, these are certain things. The garden you can see and blah, blah, blah. But there's so much work that needs to be done on the property. And again, this isn't to use to negotiate against the seller, because to be honest, you're buying something for 5 million dirham and you've got to replace a few water heaters and stuff. It's tens of thousands, not hundreds of thousands. So it's not to negotiate that price down. It's really so that seller goes, right, I need to get this done before we move in, because I'm moving in with my family and we're moving from the UK.
The buyer, you mean?
Yeah. So the buyer. So the buyer's moving in and they need to know it's set, because if they get the keys on a Monday and they try and move their family in on a Monday and all of a sudden there's no hot water, it's leaking, there's no air conditioning and this, that and the other, that's really bad. So that's the purpose of it. So then you can go, okay, this is what's wrong with the property. We can get those fixed. It's going to take a week to be done. As soon as you get the keys on Monday, give them to us. Our team goes in. By Friday, it's all done. By Saturday, you can move in. And that's the purpose of it. It's not to negotiate the price. It's just really to make sure everyone is totally informed. Anyway, that's enough about my sales pitch on that there.
Very interesting though, because it doesn't exist. So I think it's cool that we talk about it here, because it is something new. Probably exists somewhere, but
there are companies
not,
that do it.
Not everybody doing it, and I wonder why.
What I think it's because initially brokers are fearful of what you were you brought up,
Yeah.
like it's going to muddy the deal. Like people are going to get their, messed around, or he's going to try and negotiate the seller down, but the seller wants to sell for this price, and there's too much mess. That's why we're saying it's not about negotiation. It's all about making sure that you know what you're buying.
Because you have to be aware that in the end, when you're buying, it's not like renting. So like you're buying what you see, and that thing has this price. Yeah. So like if you want to upgrade it, or if like things need repairment, that's on you then after you bought that for the price. It's not like you tell the seller, oh, this needs to be done, this needs to be done. Yeah. That's not how it works, because he is selling this product for this price. But to help a buyer to go in and make a informed decision about if he wants to buy this thing at this price tag, that's definitely...
And to be honest, I mean, the cost of having things repaired in Dubai is so much less than anywhere else I've ever lived in that it doesn't make a huge difference. The one bed we just did, the water heater needs replacing, and the ceiling has got wet and it's got mouldy. The whole thing, to do all of that, is 1,000 dirham, which is about 200 and something pounds. Okay, so it's not a big deal. It certainly didn't put the seller off. Sorry, I'm getting mixed again. It didn't put the buyer off buying a property, but it meant that he knew exactly what he was getting into. And actually, in this particular occasion, and I'm not using this, the seller said, you know what? I'll get that fixed for you. So again, what a lovely way to start a relationship between a buyer and a seller as well, is that. So if it's handled properly and everybody knows what's going on and why it's being done, it's a very positive thing. It's not a negative thing at all. Because if the buyer bought that property and moved in and then realised it, well, guess what? He's not going to be very happy with any of the brokers, and he's certainly not going to be happy with the seller. It could have all been avoided. So it has been avoided. Everybody's happy. We're good.
Nice. What's happening on the personal side?
On the personal side, it's the same.
What are your like ambitions for the new year?
Oh God! Well, Pfizer and I, obviously it's me and Pfizer, and it's somebody at the door. We're just busy all the time. I mean, I cannot believe it's January. Like last year has flown by. Like we've moved house, we've added things to the business, we've got a dog, all of these little things that we've added in, which has been brilliant. And now we've got a friend arriving for dinner as well with us, who's another German, by the way. So we're going to go and cook a barbecue, which is, again, a wonderful thing we've got this year. Should we stop this?
So no, the question is, do we stop this? Yeah, I guess we do.
I guess we do. So we're going to come back in part 2 very soon.
Bye.